Pull up in a monster automobile, Yonka. With a bad that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in the Tonka color of Willy Wonka. Bars, bars, and bars. Nicki bodied Jay-Z, Kanye, and Rick Ross on Monster. The woman. Nicki was that girl, man. Hi, I'm Nyla Symone, and this is my top 5 DOA. It was so hard to figure out what my top 5 of all time, dead or alive, because I mean, it's so many rappers between the different eras. So for me, my hip hop knowledge goes back to the 90s. So from between every 5 years, it's like a new hot rapper. You know what I mean? And then even if there's like one hot, there's always a few that are just as hot. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, from 2010 to 2020. So now we in 2020. It was like Cole, Wiz, Drake, Wale, Big Sean, Meek Mill. It's like it's always like, and now they like the young OGs, but then before that it was like 50, Ja Rule, DMX. That's like the early 2000s. Nelly, Luda, Missy, Lauren. I mean, it's so many. Then right before that era, you know, I would say like 95 and up. You got Jay, you got Pac, you got Big. It's just like, so trying to pick just 5, since hip hop is getting old now. You know what I mean? It's hard, but I came to my 5 and I feel pretty confident about it, and take it or leave it. I love it. Picking my 5th person was kind of hard because there's so many people that you want to recognize, and it's like I without a doubt was gonna put a woman in my top, you know. So it was like, all right, it's either gonna be Lauren, Nicki, because I mean, you know, for my generation, Nicki was the only female rapper for a long time. She came crazy. She was one of the hardest rappers on Young Money, Cash Money. No disrespect to Drake. I love Drake too. But like, Nicki had it. But I chose Lauren just because of the soul. I'm a person who really loves like music that you can feel and connect. So based off soul, context, and impact, I picked Lauren. I chose Lauryn Hill. And I love Lauryn Hill because 1, she's a black goddess. 2, my mom used to play that album cleaning the house growing up, you know, Saturday mornings. Put the album on, whole family wake up because the music is loud, make sure your room is clean, whatever. So Lauryn Hill was on repeat cleaning the house. So I've always like grew up listening to it, but then as I got older and started dealing with my own, you know, relationship issues and life issues, really she has a song for everything. She got a song for heartbreak. She has a song about you know, moving on. She has a song about everything is everything, like life is just what it is. She just dropped so many gems for like as women to live by, to be like a righteous woman. And I think a lot of the rappers that I picked aside from Lauren are just people with messages, you know, like, and that's what I love the most. So Lauren is the queen Lauren. Of course I had to put her in my top 5. Number 4 is Biggie. So I put Biggie in my top. Of course, I didn't grow up in the era when he was out, but his impact has lived and will live forever. So I grew up listening to Biggie. My father used to play Biggie. And honestly, I feel like a lot of rappers from the 90s, like a lot of people can say like, oh, he sound like Pac, or oh, he sound like this person or that person. I haven't heard nobody who flow or rap like Big since Big. There will never be another Big. Nobody does it better. So, I mean, because of flow, I think Big is probably the greatest rapper of all time. Period. The top 2 things that move me with artists is voice and cadence, flow. Like, I don't want to hear just the same like flow the whole way through, which is why Biggie is in there, okay? Because Biggie flow, like I had said, armed and dangerous, ain't too many can bang with us, straight up weak. Like that was, it was fast tempo, but then he got like the slower ones, like 10 Crack Commandments. He raps slow. Been in this game for years. It's made me an animal. It's rules for this. I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step booklet. You know what I mean? Like, it's variations in flow. It shows your diversity. Even in the, what's the, I don't want to live no more. Since I've heard death knocking at my front door. I know how it feels to wake up, up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you the user. That's 3 different types of flows right there. I'm not even naming the classics like the Juicies and, you know, Hypnotizing stuff. So it's like Biggie was different, a monster. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to J. Cole. I love J. Cole, man. I tapped into him when I was in, I want to say I was in high school, like a freshman in high school, and he dropped Lights Please. That's the first song I heard by J. Cole. And the beat was mad simple. I heard this little bad thing, something like them tens. She gave me man frame, something like the Wiz. But you see the sad thing, what it is the chick ain't even have brains, dummies like a. So yeah, love Cole. And then Cole went to St. John's University. J. Cole from Fayetteville, you know what I mean? And he always rapped about, like, in the come up and in the warm up, being like just a regular guy from North Carolina with big city dreams. Like, he got another line where he's like, I'm just a small town, big city hustle, glued to the TV, Jigga Diddy Russell. These are our heroes. And it's so true. Like, growing up, we looked up to Jay-Z, we looked up to Diddy, we looked up to Russell. These are the people that we want to be like. So seeing him come from Fayetteville and go to St. John's and like become one of my top 5 that are alive means a lot to me. And he's the reason why I also went to St. John's University and chased my dreams in the music industry. So for that, J. Cole is my number 3. My number 2 favorite rapper, dead or alive, gotta give it to Kendrick Lamar. Okay, first of all, lineage wise, when you look at hip hop, like, you know, Kendrick is a product of Dre and Jimmy Iovine, and just like that, the lineage, that West Coast side is crazy. I have nothing but respect for their sound and how they move with TDE. So I picked Kendrick as number 2, not only because of his art, of his bars, of the content, but just how he puts it together. It's impact, you know what I mean? Like, he dropped To Pimp a Butterfly. I was in college. I was a sophomore in college. I want to say, that's 2015. He dropped To Pimp a Butterfly in like 2015, and that album has got played at every protest and rally that I've been to in 2020. Like, that album was really ahead of its time. So shout out to Kendrick for being a visionary, 1. And 2, he was covering topics that nobody was really doing that in depth. The whole To Pimp a Butterfly album alone is a work of art that will be studied for years to come. And on top of that, as far as catalog goes, none of Kendrick albums are misses. Like, none of them. Good Kid, Mad City, a hit. To Pimp a Butterfly, a hit. Damn, a hit. I mean, like, it's real music that you can sit with. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of artists today, especially in the era that we're in now, put out music to like get a hit, or like, I don't know, they just put out music for whatever reason they putting out music for, but it's not a complete body of work. It's not art. So Kendrick is in my top 3, number 2 at that, for putting out real music, man. So yeah, shout out to Kendrick. Alright, so my number 1 favorite rapper of all time, I gotta give it to Andre 3000, 3 Stacks. Okay, so I've been listening to Outkast since I was a kid, honestly. Like I said, like, my parents used to play music around me Saturday mornings. I'm an Army brat, so we used to be on the road driving to different places. So for us, car rides meant like listening to rap music, and if you ain't know the words, you had to get out the car type of thing. Like, nah, you don't know this, like, look this up. So my favorites to rap in those car rides used to be Outkast, Goody Mob, but out of that whole like Atlanta collective, I loved Andre 3000 the most, because what he said was just real. Like, if you don't like 3 Stacks, you're not in tune with your soul. Okay, I love Andre 3000. It's really crazy that people would not have Andre 3000 in their top 5. I mean, off impact alone, who was doing what he was doing? Not only lyrically, wordplay, style, you know what I mean? Like, style-wise, he was different, and he was himself, and that's like the most beautiful part about it. But you know, a lot of times, like, being odd is not the cool thing to do. And that's why I really love, like, I love the ATLiens album, and I love the ATLiens song, because they're pretty much calling themselves the oddball. Like, yeah, we're different, but they made it cool to be different. So respect to Outkast and Andre 3000, my favorite rapper. Lyrics matter, yes, and we appreciate it. But at the end of the day, it's about, like, if we just looking at the music, like, song for song, it's about the song. You know what I mean? Like, one-hit wonders exist because they make a great song. And then a good body of work alone, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about Kendrick and how his albums are art. You know what I mean? They have messages, they're concise, They're thematic. Even Kanye, who's one of the greatest, for sure. The first 3 albums all in theme. It allows you to follow. It allows you to connect. Sometimes like being too like bar heavy, it can go over your head, and it doesn't mean that you're not as great as a rapper, because you can get all the credit in the world. But I feel like at the end of the day, what really hits people, what really allows people to remember you, is the song, is the basic art of the song and how it's delivered and packaged to you. Hey, I'm Nyla Symone, and that was my top 5 DOA.